Now I'm going to start a new series of ecology and environment notes, audios. So let's have the first audio. Ecology as a scientific study of the relationship of the living organism with each other and with their environment. If we talk about environment you can call it the sum total of living, non-living components, influences and events surrounding an organism. Components of environment you can say abiotic and biotic. Abiotic components are energy, radiation, temperature, heat flow, water, atmospheric gases, wind, fire, gravity, topography, soil, geology, substratum. And when we talk about biotic you can count as green plants, non-green plants, decomposers, symbolites, animals, and man. Six main levels of organization of ecology: individual, population, community, ecosystem, then biome, and the last one is biosphere. Individual, living being, ability to act or function independently. Population, you can say group of organism, usually of the same species or occupied defined area in a specific time. Then community, you can say it is not fixed or not rigid. Okay, maybe large or small, major or minor. Major, large size, independent, like tropical evergreen forest of northeast, or dependent in minor you can have dependent, like a mat of lichen on the cow dung. Then ecosystem, biome and biosphere. So when we talk about ecosystem, the fourth one, important one, it is defined as a structural and functional unit of biosphere consisting of community of living beings and a physical environment, both interacting and exchanging materials between them. Components are really again biotic and abiotic. I have already explained abiotic and in components like energy we get from sun, rainfall like water, temperature, humidity also counted in it, then atmosphere, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and all. Then substratum you can call it as soil, okay, microbes and aquatic etc. Materials, organic or inorganic compounds. Then latitude and altitude, polar, tropical and temperate. When we talk about biotic have primary producers or ultratop, then consumers. Okay, so primary producer, or you can say producers or autotrophs, are self-nourishing green plants, microscopic algae. Then consumers, heterotrophs, or you can say phagotroph trophodes, like undernourished, are dependent on plant or animals for food. Macro consumers are there and micro consumers or saprotrophs are there. So macro consumers like covers, primary consumers or cow or rabbit, then secondary consumer like wolves, and carnivores like lion, and omnivores like man. These are macro consumers. When we talk about micro consumers, we have bacteria, viruses, fungi, zoonotic species, and earthworm. Natural ecosystems are there: terrestrial and aquatic. So terrestrial we can cover forest, grasslands and deserts, and aquatic we cover fresh water, saline water and marine water. Now it's turn to define ecotone. What is ecotone? Ecotone, it is a zone of junction between two or more diverse ecosystems. Niche. What is niche? It is the unique functional role or place of a species in an ecosystem. It is a description of all the biological, physical, and chemical factors that a species needs to survive, stay healthy, and reproduce. Types, you can say habitat niche, food niche, reproductive niche, and physical and chemical niche. Now it's time to understand fifth one, biome. The terrestrial part of biosphere is divisible into enormous regions like biomes. No two biomes are alike. Two important climatic factors are important. These are temperature and precipitation. Names of biome are like tundra, taiga, temperate deciduous forest, then tropical rainforest, savanna, grassland and desert biome. Then aquatic zones, these are not called biomes, like freshwater ecosystem, marine water ecosystem and estuaries. So freshwater ecosystems we have streams, springs, lakes, ponds and some swamps. In marine water in marine ecosystems, water covered by 35 ppt salinity, or you can say ocean water. And estuaries, we can cover coastal bays and river mouths and tidal marshes. Okay, now it's time to understand biosphere. Biosphere, it is a part of the each and where life can exist. Highly integrated and interacting zone comprising of atmosphere air, or you can say hydrosphere water, and lithosphere land, narrow layer around the surface of land, or you can say surface of earth. Biosphere is absent at extremes of north pole and south pole, the highest mountain and deepest ocean. Since existing hostile conditions there do not support life. So we have you can draw one diagram like three circles are there which are in interlinking with them. One atmosphere, then lithosphere, and then hydrosphere, and the middle path which covered all these three, that is you can call it biosphere. Now it's time to understand functions of an ecosystem. Ecosystem can be studied under three heads like energy flow, nutrient cycle, and ecological succession or ecosystem development. So you can have a pyramid of energy. You can have one triangle, and at the very bottom of it, you can have 1000 calories, which is producers. Then 100 calories upper one, that is primary consumer. Then 10 calories are remaining when it is done by secondary consumer, and the last the tertiary consumer have only 1 calorie. This is a pyramid of energy. So energy flow, basic forces for metabolic activities, a tropic level of interaction. One autotroph, first autotroph green plants produces, second heterotrophs are herbivore primary, carnivore secondary, and carnivore tertiary. Also top carnivorous quartary consumers. It involves three concepts: food chain, food web, and ecological pyramid. Food chain, we can cover grazing food chain, or dendrous food chain. And food web, you know very well: lizard, grasshopper, and grass, then mouse and a snake, and all these grass is covered by rabbit, and rabbit is stalked by hawk. Then ecological pyramid, which is upright a pyramid in land, and inverted pyramid aquatic ecosystem. So a simple stand, when it is upright, a triangle is there, so you can have the pyramid is on land. And when we talk about aquatic ecosystem, it is inverted pyramid it get. Then a pollutants, especially non-degradable ones, move through the various trophic levels in an ecosystem. Two processes: bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Bioaccumulation refers to how pollutant enter a food chain, and biomagnification refers to the tendency of pollutants to concentrate as they move from one trophic level to the next trophic level. Types of biotic interactions like mutualism, both species benefited, example pollination. Then commensalism, one species benefited and the other is unaffected, like cow dung provides beetles shelter. Okay, then competition, both species are harmed by interaction. Then predation or parasitism, you can say, then it one species is benefited and the other was harmed. Then amensalism, one species is harmed and other unaffected, like a large tree shadowed the small plant. And neutralism, no net benefit or no net harm. Biogeochemical cycle. Okay, so nutrient cycle, you have nutrient cycle like very first soil, water and mineral soils are there. Then algae and lichens and green plants and producers. Then it was eaten by consumers. Okay, then it when we do, when it, these are die, then decomposers are there, fungi and bacteria, they decomposition these material and then again it become a soil. So it is somehow a cycle, nutrient cycle. Then gaseous cycle, water cycle, and carbon cycle. Carbon cycle vital for the production of a carbohydrates through photosynthesis by plants. And nitrogen cycle for nitrogen fixation. Now it's third chapter, terrestrial ecosystems. Tundra word means barren land. Arctic and alpine vegetations are there. What is difference between these two? Arctic continuous belt below the polar ice cap and above the tree line in the northern hemisphere. Then Canada, Alaska, European Russia, Siberia, and island group of Arctic Ocean. South Pole tundra is very small. Then Alpine vegetations are there. Vegetation, when we talk about alpine, occurs at high mountains above the tree line, has day and night temperature variation. Vegetation and animals, vegetations you can say, in alpine vegetation, cotton grass, sedges, willows, birches and liches. And then animals, reindeer, musk ox, Arctic hare, then caribous, then lemmings and squirrels. Then forest ecosystem, three types of forest ecosystems are there: coniferous forest, temperate forest, and tropical forest. So, very first, coniferous forest, or you can say boreal forest. So, boreal forest you can have name the same name, coniferous forest. Evergreen plants species as spruce, fir, fir, pine trees. Animals, lynx, wolf, bear, red fox, porcupine, then squirrel, and amphibians like hydla and rana, etc. etc. Temperate forest, moderate climate, broad leafed deciduous trees. Participation in is fairly uniform. Podozoic soil. Temperate deciduous forest. Okay, then Mediterranean type of climate. When we have that, when we talk about temperate evergreen forest, very first we have talk about temperate deciduous forest. So temperate deciduous forest have some characteristics like moderate climate, broad-leaved deciduous trees, precipitations fairly uniform, and podozoic soil. So podozoic soil you can have in temperate deciduous forest. Now we will talk about temperate evergreen forest. These are having Mediterranean type of climate, warm, dry summer, and cool, moist in winters. Low, broad-leafed and evergreen trees. For fire is important to hazardous factor because fire is there in these type of climate. Then temperate rainforest, rainfall is high, heavy fog, high biotic diversity of plant and animals is very low. Okay, high biotic diversities, and diversity of plant and animals is very much low. Temperate rainforest. Now it's time to understand tropical forest. Tropical rainforest, very first, near the equator temperature is high, humidity is also high, flora highly diversified. Then soil, red soils and very thick. Then tropical seasonal forest. Tropical seasonal forest known as monsoonal forest need high rainfall, covers South America, North Australia, West Africa, and India. Then subtropical rainforest, broad-leaved evergreen. Subtropical rainforest, high rainfall but low temperature. Then epiphytic are common here. Okay, epiphytes are common here. Indian forest type, when we talk about tropical wet evergreen forest found in Western Ghat, Andaman Nicobar Island, and all along northeastern region. Trees, when we talk about jackfruit, betel nut palm, jammu, then mongo and hallock. Then beautiful variety of fern, various colors grow there. Then tropical semi evergreen, Western Ghats, Andaman Nicobar Island, and Eastern Himalayas, large variety of trees are there. Then tropical moist deciduous forest found in throughout India except in west and northwestern region. Okay, trees we have in tropical moist deciduous forest like tall, have broad trunks, evergreen shrub grows undergrowth in the trees. Then sal, teak, mango, bamboo, and rosewood are examples of these. Then littoral or swamp type of climate, or you can say forest type, littoral and swamp type, found in Andaman Nicobar and Delta or area of Ganga and Brahmaputra. Then tropical dry deciduous forest northern part except northern northeastern MP and Gujarat, Andhra and Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Okay, then trees are, you can say, sal, acacia and bamboo, and canopy of trees does not normally exceeds 25 meters. Then tropical thorn forest found in area with black soil, western, northwestern and central and south India. Trees do not grow beyond 10 meters. Spurge, capper and cactus are the trees. Tropical dry evergreen forest in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka and coast. Then subtropical broad-leaved forest, eastern Himalayas and western along with the Silent Valley. Okay, subtropical broad-leaved forest, Silent Valley, wet forest. Trees are and then chestnut, birch, then cherry trees, orchids, then bamboos and creepers, then subtropical pine forest. And so these are found in dry slopes of Shivalik hills, western and central Himalayas, then Khasi, Naga, and Manipuri hills. Okay, subtropical pine forest, chair, oak, pine, sal, amla in lower regions. Then subtropical dry evergreen forest, hot and dry season and cold winter. Evergreen trees found in Shivalik hills and foothills of Himalayas up to height of 1,000 meters. Then mountain wet temperature forest, temperate forest, you can say mountain wet and temperate forest, eastern of Nepal and in region of Andhra Pradesh. Then Himalayan moist temperate forest, western Himalayas to eastern Himalayas. Trees are oak, walnut, rhododendron, etc. Then bamboos also. Himalayan dry temperate forest found in Lahul, Kinnaur and Sikkim. Broadleaf trees are there, oak, maple and ash, fir, juniper, then deodar and chilgoza. Then subalpine tree from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. High rainfall, high humidity and high timberline. Okay, then red fir, juniper, then birch and leech are there. Then moist alpine shrubs, Himalayan and on the higher hills near Myanmar borders. Then mainly rhododendron and birch. Then mooses and ferns also, and high snowfall is there. No moist alpine shrub, high snowfall is there. Dry alpine shrubs are there, 3,000 meters to 4,900 meters. Then honey, shakal and black juniper and willows are there. So what is the use of a forest? Forest can keep up the natural balance, purify air, provide microclimate, then role in precipitation, prevents floods, prevents soil erosion. Medicinal properties are there for fuel and timber. It is also used, okay, raw materials for industries. Deforestation causes pesticides, shifting cultivation, development projects, urbanization, fuel requirements, then defense and commercial diseases. Okay, then forest fire, then raw materials, overgrazing, agriculture, mining. These are the causes of deforestation. Now we have grassland ecosystem. Rainfall is about 25 to 75 centimeter per year. Increase reduced for forest and increase for desert conditions. Okay, so this area grassland ecosystem, forests are decreases and increases the desertic conditions in India, found mainly in the high Himalayas. um, okay, savannas lie closer to the equator than steppes, then savanna or warmer than steppes being further from the equator also means colder conditions, and in some northern steppes snow rather than the rain is common. Three types of grasslands are there: semi-arid zone, dry sub-humid zone and moist sub-humid zone. Semi-arid zone covers northern Gujarat, Rajasthan, western UP, Delhi and Punjab. Savanna type of Bengal, Prosopis and Salvedra are the examples. And then dry sub-humid zone cover peninsular India except Nilgiri. Okay, thorny bushes like mimosa, ziziphus, shehima grass. It is okay, shehima grass, dicanthum. Okay, these are the names of the I think aquatic, not aquatic, grassland ecosystems. Okay, grasslands name, grasses names. I think moist subhumid zone. The third one, moist subhumid zone, covers Ganga alluvial plain in northern India. Examples: Saipodon, Decloan, Acadia arabia, Latifoila, and Ziziphus, etc. Ziziphus is also, I think, kind of grass. Importance: grassland biomass for fodder and grazing and lands, good for livestock, when major source of fuel, drought power, then nutrition and raw materials for village industries. Indian Grasslands and Fodder Research Institute, Jhansi, and Central Arid Zone Research Institute in Jodhpur. This is you have to remember. Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute in Jhansi and Central Arid Zone Research Institute in Jodhpur. Impact of overgrazing, producing drought, in decrease in infiltration of water, invaded of by xerophytic plants, then decrease humus, then microclimate becomes more dry, cover of soil reduces, and qualify of grassland detroits. Then desert ecosystem, when we talk about, so desertic ecosystem, less than 25 centimeter of annual rainfall, lack of rain in the mid altitude latitude is often due to stable high pressure zone, often lie in a rain shadow area where high mountains block off moisture from the seas. At high altitude and at greater distance from the equator, the deserts are cold and hot near equator and tropics. Important plants: creosote bushes, cactus, phaetrocactus, and scattered throughout the desertic biomes. Sheepwood and geesewood and salt grasses are common. Adaptation: the desertic plants conserve water by following methods. They are mostly shrubs, leaves absent or reduced in size, root system spread large over area. The animals are physiologically and behaviorally adapted to desertic conditions. Fast runners are nocturnal in nature, then conserve water by exerting concentrated urine. Then animals have long legs. Then Indian desert, when we talk about Thar desert, which is a hot desert, rainfall is scanty and cold season between mid-November to mid-March. Relative humidity of atmosphere is low. Flora, when we talk about kind of shrub vegetation, perennial herbs are there, thorny and prickly type of leaves dependent directly upon rain, and it generally consists of a slender woody top root and extraordinary length. Then fauna, when we talk about the green Indian bastard, it's a kind of bird. Okay, the black bug, wild ash, chinkara, caracal, sand goose, and desert fox. Asiatic wild ass lies in the remote part of Great Run of Kutch. Cold desert, temperate desert. You have the areas of Ladakh, Leh, Kargil of Kashmir, and Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh, and some part of Uttarakhand and Sikkim. These you can count it as cold desert or temperate desert. Lies in rain shadow of Himalayan mountain system. Extreme cold weather, isolated, scattered oak, pine, deodar, birch, and rhododendron type of trees are there. Major animal includes yak, dwarfs, cows, and goats are there. Heavy snowfall occurs between November to March. Okay, then soil type, sandy to sandy loam. Then soil pH is neutral to slight alkaline. Soil nutrient poor organic matter content. Then soil has low water retention capacity. Then wind erosion is more common. Desertification causes increase because of increased agriculture, increase in cattle population, population pressure, development activities, and deforestation. Now, in the next chapter, I will cover aquatic system, ecosystem. Okay, till then, take care. Bye bye.